There's been a lot of giggling with Emma. There's these scenes where we have these kind of very embarrassing English pregnant pauses, and they're always the kiss of death for an actor.
Where's Luna?
Luna?
I never really have problems corpsing, but I really struggled on those 2 or 3 days.
The slightest little slurp, Emma was gone.
I just couldn't keep it together.
They get fined when they giggle or if they ruin a take.
How much is a red card?
£5.
I think Rupert's in the lead. I think he owes about £80. But this week, Emma was the worst.
Red card, Emma Watson.
Oh, I'm so annoyed. I've never had one of these red cards from Jamie. I'm good as gold. I'm the class pet.
Got that.
I'm so sorry. Luckily, Reese is a very nice guy and found the whole thing quite amusing. He actually nicknamed me Giggles at the end of the 3 days because I was so bad.
Just goes to prove that, you know, after how many films, that they're still really enjoying the experience.
Sorry.
Got that. Red card. Here we are, day one. Harry Potter 7.
It's brilliant to be back on set. I've been away for about a year now, so I'm very, very excited to be here. It's the last time I'll ever have a first day on Potter, and it is slowly coming to a close, which is bizarre. I mean, this is day one of something like 247, so we've got a long way to go. But the great thing about this being the last one, in a way, is that you can really relish every moment as much as you can. Here we go.
And action.
I love my job and I'm lucky to love it. It's a running joke now how late I stay here after I get wrapped. It's ridiculous. Sometimes I'll be wrapped at 4 and I won't leave till 6:30. Just because I love being here. And also, frankly, the most interesting parts of my day are when I'm not on camera, because it's like, because then I actually get to watch other people doing their stuff, and that's really, I like that, and you do learn a lot from it.
The ones that love us never really leave us. And you can always find them. In here.
The first person I was consciously quite scared of working with was on the third film when Gary Oldman came in, because by that point I was more knowledgeable about film and about just drama and acting in general. I'd watched a lot more, I'd been exposed to a lot more, and I knew a lot of his films, and so working with him was very frightening, because I thought he was going to be like his characters in films, and of course he's not. He's a really sweet man.
Oh, I take that back. The worst part is people believing everything they read in the newspapers. Anyway, I wanted you to have this. Keep going some more coffee.
I think the two best performances that I've given in these films so far are 3 and 5. And I think that is in part to do with the fact that I have Gary Oldman around at the time, because I learned so much when he's around. It's very much the sort of, it's like that John Hurt moment, I can just, am I not a god? Yeah. It's that great, it's fantastic. I'm going to teach my kids to say that when they're really young. I've decided. I raise the stakes of what I'm doing just because I know he's involved.
Am I not a god?
Keep running the silver ball, please. Keep running to the silver ball.
Your expression, fantastic.
Between Gary Oldman and Imelda Staunton, those are the people that I've learnt the most from, I think.
See me later, Mr. Potter. My office. Me and Umbridge have some serious scenes together, really big, deep scenes. And Imelda Staunton is fantastic at helping me to focus and helping me to find levels of character and to go deeper into my character when I'm doing it, which is fantastic.
You know, deep down, you deserve to be punished. Don't you, Mr. Potter?
I would be able to talk about how much I have loved working with her for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Know this, you have nothing to fear if you have nothing to hide.
I still have moments to go, wow, this is amazing. Like when I'm in the atrium set, because that's my favourite set, and that's one that I'd go in and go, I can't believe I'm involved in something this big, is incredible. But on the whole, I think now, it is a job, and I come in every day, and you get into a routine so quickly on a film that you do sort of, to a certain extent, stop noticing, which is why it's important to have those moments where you go, wow, hold on, this is great, actually. Just remember how cool this all is now, because it's not going to last forever.
Thank you, thank you. 10 years, nothing's changed.
In all the years I've been coming to the Harry Potter sets, I've never been allowed to get on a broomstick. But today, I've been invited to G Stage, where they're prepping for another stunt, and I'm going to get to fly. And the flying, of course, has become quite a dramatic thing over the years, and it was such a closely guarded secret.
Yes. Whereas now, we'll just let you come in and film it.
Yeah, well, hopefully,
yeah.
I'm going to have a go at some point. Yeah.
See, now, this is the thing, is that you're going to get on one of our new Quidditch brooms that's been around since the last 2 years.
Right.
Which is much nicer. Which has a bit more of a sort of tractor seat type affair.
Right.
For you to sit on, rather than the...
razor knife.
Yes, rather than the bike saddle that it was before. Blood has been drawn from unpleasant places. We will put it like that.
Really?
Yeah.
You've...
ages ago. It's all healed up now, it's fine.
That's really...
It was fun, but at first, when I first started doing on the first film, it was kind of painful, but then it got fine.
Just talk us through sort of where we've been and some of the brooms that we've got here.
OK, we've kind of got a slight history of broom making over the last 10 years, and we can start off here with the Nimbus 2000, which...
I love this broom. This was his first. This was how he
This is the first, yes, yeah. And it had a very strong styling because it had to stand out compared to the school brooms like the one we've got above us here.
So this was just a bog standard?
Bog standard, yeah. So the idea was with the bog standard brooms was that they were almost like when you remember at school when you got your cricket bats out and everyone choose one, everyone had the last one, the ratty one with the bits missing.
The rubbish
it was
one
kinda,
didn't really fly straight, it was a bit rubbish, you never hit a six
never went
off.
left.
And there was always one kid who had a really nice one.
This is from the film we've been working on at the moment. And this has been built for Arthur Weasley. He loves his Muggle design. He's great. So he's got proper bicycle pedals and bicycle cranks. But this is a lovely bit of design. It's a great idea of the bike bag on the back. These are designed and built so that they can be put onto rigs and the green screen, and then they're thrown around the room. So they've got to be safe. So you actually have a broom here that's made of. It's got a titanium component. So that's all titanium castings.
It actually looks like a shotgun as well.
Exactly. It's that butt of a gun. That's a titanium casting. Titanium arms here because you have to get it as light as you can, but also incredibly strong.
So now I've got to get my leg over there.
Yep. Go with your left leg. That's it.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's better. You're right, it's not comfortable, is it?
No, that's all. OK, is that better?
Yep, nice and tight. I'm strapped in.
Nigel, let's go live on the rig.
That wasn't me. Is it groaning under my weight? Is that the issue? Wow. Oh, I feel like I'm getting into this now. Oh, hello. Oh, getting a bit more excited. Oh, hello. Right! I'm off home the quick way.
Here you stand before me, as though it were only yesterday.
This is the first time I've ever played a part in 4 films, so I think just through doing it, things automatically grow, change, become, I'm going to say second nature, but now I feel I've got a person there, a way of moving, speaking, thinking, feeling.
My wand Wormtail.
I always thought that Voldemort ought to look like a devil sick with sin. He wanted world domination, and he was prepared simply to sacrifice any part of humanity in himself.
Mike was very keen to explore the unexpected mood swings of Voldemort. So there are moments when sort of anger spits out at him, at Harry, and other moments when it can be very silky and smooth and almost pleasant.
How lies have fed your legend, Harry.
You have to believe him as being the ultimate evil, the ultimate bad guy.
He's really quite terrifying. His enemies doesn't quite do their relationship justice.
3, 2, 1, action!
What I wanted to try and achieve with Wraith was this vulnerability in this evil monster.
We know he hates Harry, but what is his backstory as the young Tom Riddle?
In all the years Tom's been here, he's never once had a family visitor.
He's a rejected child, and that can be the place where sort of hatred and anger and jealousy festers. There's a deep rage in Voldemort against the world.
Severus, I was beginning to worry you had lost your way. Come, we've saved you a seat.
In the first part of the 7th, he's the most composed and the most in control we've ever seen him.
He's at the peak of his power, about to grasp victory and defeat Hogwarts and Harry Potter.
My lord, I'd like to volunteer myself for this task.
I must be the one to kill Harry Potter.
Voldemort feels incredibly strong, but then he discovers that Harry's been hunting Horcruxes, so he suddenly realises that for the first time we've ever seen him, he's particularly vulnerable.
I believe you.
And there's this journey that he takes through the film where he starts to fragment.
There's more extremes of emotion and rage and distress, and something essential is being ripped out of you every time Harry and his friends destroy these Horcruxes. So there's, he's a man who's the last part of the story, he's diminished, he's sort of imploded.
It's a really interesting journey for his character because he's going from somebody who is kind of very stable and kind of in control and evil and malevolent, but nonetheless steady. And as Harry starts destroying parts of his soul, he starts slowly kind of losing his mind as well. By the end of the second part, he's almost totally lost his mind.
It's come to my attention that earlier this evening, Harry Potter was sighted in Hogsmeade.
No one is ever sure whether Snape is on the good side or the bad side.
Should anyone attempt to aid Mr. Potter, they will be punished.
Snape has always hated Harry. There's a huge amount of anger between them.
Legilimens! If anyone here has any knowledge of Mr. Potter's movements,
He just vanished.
I invite them to step forward. Now.
The Snape story is much more complicated than we might imagine. The line between good and bad is often more complex than it appears.
All of my characters are flawed. I don't think we have a single wholly good or wholly bad person, with the exception of Voldemort. And Snape is not a lovely guy.
I was beginning to worry you had lost your way. Come, we've saved you a seat.
Jaws knew there was an agenda. It was a question of what was that agenda going to turn out to be.
It will happen Saturday night at nightfall.
Dumbledore's always told Harry that he should trust Snape, but there was never any evidence on Snape's behalf that would make one want to trust him.
He was responsible for the death of Dumbledore.
Avada Kedavra.
As the stakes get higher, the more he has to step into muddier and muddier waters.
There is no wand more powerful. It answers to you, and you only.
We find Snape has taken over Hogwarts. He's become headmaster. He's got two horrible Death Eaters, the Carrow twins, who are teaching. So Hogwarts is in a state of lockdown. All the magic's gone. It's a place of quite considerable brutality and abuse, and people feel that maybe we can do something here, we'll overthrow Snape.
What becomes of Snape's character and where that story ends is very exciting.
How dare you stand where he stood?
How good or bad is Snape?
Tell them how it happened that night.
Who do I trust and who don't I? What does this word loyalty mean?
Finally, you do find out where Snape's allegiances were.
Tell them how you looked him in the eye. A man who trusted you and killed him. Tell them.
There's people been here for 4 days now, so it's incredible. You never get used to this.
I don't think people could ever think that it would get to this stage, and what a way to end the whole series.
Everyone is so excited down there, and they've been here for so long, and it just shows how loyal our fans are and how they're just our best and most amazing critics.
I mean, I think the fans in general are humbling. The loyalty that they had to the films, it's great. It's a privilege.
You get here and it's like a shot in the arm. It's just the enthusiasm and adrenaline that the crowd sort of throw upon us. It's extraordinary.
This one, yeah, I mean, particularly is kind of just unreal. I mean, just so many people. It doesn't feel like a premiere, it feels like a festival, really.
You have to sign autographs. I've signed about 1,000, I suppose, but in the end you forget how to spell your name.
I was never emotional. People sort of said, "Were you sad?" And I never was. And then I suddenly couldn't think of anything to say. I mean, how do you sum this up? How do you describe this? It's amazing.
I can't pretend that I'm not going to miss it. We're all going to miss it terribly.
It's
It's actually started to sink in today. So I could weep at any moment. So I'm sure when those final credits roll, there'll be a small tear gathering underneath my eye, I'm sure.
Okay, relax. Mental, that one. I'm telling you.
Do you want to move a bit closer?
Huh? You know, I like it when they walk.
I'm in love with her. All right, fine, you're in love with her. Have you ever actually met her?
Oh. Can you introduce me?
Ron's love story is brilliant and very, very funny and kind of endearing.
I'm Hermione Granger. And you are? Ron Weasley. Pleasure.
Ron and Hermione's relationship has always been on a delicate balance where they've never quite expressed or worked out in each other's heads how they feel for each other.
In the beginning films, you sort of sense like a sort of relationship between them two.
Which has kind of been bubbling underneath the surface of all the films.
One person couldn't feel all that. It'd explode.
Just because you've got the emotional range of a teaspoon.
Ron's not that experienced with girls, and before he knows it, Ron is way over his depth.
Ron gets this sort of serious relationship with this quite crazy girlfriend.
Excuse me, I have to go and vomit.
It's his first sort of relationship, really, and she gets a little bit overexcited and he doesn't feel comfortable with that. At this point, Ron cares a lot about Hermione because they're on the brink of kind of falling in love.
All this tension that's been building for the previous 7 films, for the previous 6.5 books. We've been desperate for the two of them to get together, and they do.
They've nearly just died, and in that moment, it's about both of them realising this is stupid. You know, if we're gonna die tonight, the one thing I actually want to do is kiss you. So it's quite romantic, really. I think it'll be, oh, thank God that finally happened.
There's so much anticipation kind of with these two. So we both wanted to do it right as well, get it good for everyone.
We just got through it by laughing a lot. It was good. He's a nice kisser.
The Weasleys are about warmth and about love and family and heart, and they represent that.
Right, roll sound. They're the only functional family. Well, although having said that, the Malfoys are functional, but not in the way we'd like them to be functional. Naughty functional there.
Sit down, everybody, sit down.
But the Weasleys throughout the books and films have always stuck together.
There is something definitely special about when all the Weasleys are together doing a family scene, because we do kind of all gel like a family, as it were. Yeah, I can remember the first time we met was at King's Cross Station on the first film.
It's still such a vivid memory for me, really. I mean, stepping on sort of platform 9 3/4, and I was about 9 years old then. And it was the first film I'd ever done, and everything was so new and fresh that day. So it was all a mixture of nerves and excitement.
And then all of a sudden you just hear from the back of the train, "Where are my boys? Where are my children?" And then Julie came in, that's how we met Julie.
Morning, Weasleys!
And then we met Mark on the Chamber of Secrets. That's when he came into it.
And who are you?
And it was just like, click, like it all just came together.
Harry.
Harry! I'm so thrilled that Mark is playing my husband. We get on really well. I feel that we're almost married, really, now. And with my boys and my daughter, it's definitely a family. Yeah! It's unique in that way. There is nothing like it. And they were all these little people when I first started, so there is something lovely about watching the children grow up.
Rupert and Oliver and James and I went out for a curry and a pint, and there were some very nice people asking for photographs on their mobile phones. And they asked Oliver and James and Rupert, and then they said, "And your dad?" Which is very, very funny indeed. We laughed. Good curry as well.
Most people think that we just finish filming, go back to individual trailers or whatever, and that's it, and then see each other again on set. Whereas, yeah, like lunch, we eat together. In between filming, we'll hang out. Normally in Rupert's place because he's got the best gizmos. You know, play a bit of PlayStation, Wii, something like that.
Got quite a good room upstairs, and it's got a ping pong table and a dartboard.
We're very mature here. So yeah, there's always something going on.
I don't think any of us will ever forget it or ever leave Harry Potter behind. The memories are too strong, I think, for all of us.
Ronald Weasley.
Gryffindor.
This experience has been just an amazing kind of part of my life, and I know I'll never, ever forget it, and I'm just proud to be a part of it.
We've had some great times, and our life has changed since we started, totally beyond anything we'd ever thought it would do. It's really a special time in our life.
Good luck, Harry Potter.
Harry has had a series of father figures, but probably the most significant was Dumbledore. This is the person who brought him to the first place that he really could consider home.
Wow.
Hogwarts.
Let the feast begin.
Dumbledore is such an iconic figure in the franchise and in the book, and I think everyone had imagined Dumbledore was exactly how Richard looked.
It does not do to dwell on dreams, Harry, and forget to live.
Richard was always very, very kind to me. He was great, in our scenes and helped me and had fun. And so, yeah, when he died, I was very, very sad.
Welcome, welcome to another year at Hogwarts.
I thought Michael handled stepping into Richard Harris' shoes beautifully, because in any press conference, he would pretend that he didn't know that he was replacing somebody. He would go, "Oh, am I?" He would just so he handled it very, very well, and he chose to give him a bit of an Irish accent as a homage to Richard.
Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if one only remembers to turn on the light.
To take over from Richard, and it's really hard, but I think Michael's a brilliant actor and did very well.
You have friends here. You're not alone.
Dumbledore and Harry's relationship goes beyond sort of headmaster, schoolboy. It goes into a friendship, a closeness.
The relationship does bear certain similarities to real life.
When we do the scene now again in a minute, I shall change my...
It will be played in a completely different way.
Play him in a more ethereal way.
Michael is wonderfully irreverent, full of great stories, and Dan is, endlessly curious, and he has learnt a lot from working with Michael.
My memories of Michael Gambon are so much placed in the 5th and 6th films that I can barely remember him in the 3rd and 4th. We had lots of scenes together, but it was only when we got to the 5th and 6th films that we really started working together, having more of a relationship with each other.
We have to develop some sort of setup with each other, and that's fine. That's what we've done. Mainly jokes, not very funny jokes. But I'm the one who tells not very funny jokes. He tells quite funny jokes. And I get chastised for telling bad jokes. Anyway.
He's a laugh, Michael, and he's great fun. He's really lovely to be around, and I've loved working with him.
I mean, I love him. It was the luckiest day ever that he got Daniel to play that part, because he's perfect.
Me and Michael are going to go busking in Covent Garden in our costumes this weekend. It's going to be...
We're just going to keep the costumes on and just busk.
Yeah, see, look at this.
Let's start the song.
I'm Harry Potter. Wicked.
That was fun.
5 galleons. I'm your brother. 10 galleons.
How do I look?
Hideous.
You know the Egyptians used to worship cats?
Yeah, along with a dung beetle.
Your favourite line that your character ever said in any of the films?
My favourite line is, I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed, or worse, expelled. And I remember just getting so much joy out of saying that. Now, if you two don't mind, I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed, or worse, expelled.
Actually, when you said that, I still remembered the line that I say after that.
She needs to sort out her priorities.
I think it was just a line that really, for 10 years, really summed up Neville, and it was in number 2, and it was just when he's hanging from the chandelier and he says,
Why is it always me?
I probably have to choose my first ever line that actually wasn't in the script and only happened on the platform 9 3/4 with good luck to Harry.
Best do it at a bit of a run if you're nervous. Good luck.
That was the beginning, and I ended on the same set.
I had to say Mad Eye's dead, and that was my dad, so that was good fun.
Mad Eye's dead.
I've actually got 2. The first one would be in the first movie when I sounded like I'd just swallowed a load of helium and said, honestly, woman, you call yourself our mother. So I remember being really excited, because if I actually said that to my mum, I'd probably be looking for a smack, so...
He's not Fred, I am. Honestly, woman, you call yourself our mother.
Oh, I'm sorry, George.
And my second one would be mischief managed, which I think sums up the characters pretty well.
Oh, and Harry, don't forget, when you're done, just to give it a tap and say, mischief managed. Otherwise, anyone can read it.
I think my favourite line would be in Deathly Hallows Part 1 when Harry and Ginny are just kissing and George creeps right behind them and just goes, morning. It's probably the most uncomfortable moment, I think, for Harry to go through.
Morning.
I like it when she says, don't call me Nymphadora, and gets really angry at Mad Eye Moody. And my hair changing colour.
Don't call me Nymphadora.
I think my favourite line that I got to say is the moment that she stands up in the Forbidden Forest and says, dead.
Oh, I think my favourite one has got to be, not my daughter, you.
My favourite line is actually one of Daniel's, because my first day's work, one of my first shots was walking away from Dumbledore's desk, and I turned round to him, unexpectedly to him, and I said, let us hope Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day. And he looked up at me and he puffed his chest out and he said, don't worry, I will be. Pretty impressive for a 12-year-old, and he's stayed that impressive ever since.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Wow.
What's that you've got, Hagrid?
Oh, it's flesh-eating slug repellent.
What is your favourite prop from the films? Or it could be a costume, something you wore, something you saw.
Mine would be the lion hat, Luna's lion hat, because I think that the best thing about playing Luna is that when you're wearing her clothes, they're kind of the clothes that no one would wear, in their right mind. So you get out of yourself, you're very free. And the lion hat was sort of that intensely, like, I can't care what anyone thinks of me, I'm wearing a lion on my head.
I really like my suit. Draco was not one for casual dressing, and he seemed to be in a black suit 24/7, even to bed. I think he wore it. So yeah, it was actually the first suit I ever had that fit me. So it was nice to have that. I felt very sharp in that for sure.
My favourite prop would be my dyed ginger hair for 10 years. Got you really into the character, and kind of your friends knew when you were filming again. I'm going to go with the ginger hair, and it made us part of the Weasley gang. So that's pretty cool to be a part of.
Well, in the first episode of Potter, they explained to me that Hagrid wasn't actually allowed to do magic. They gave me a pink umbrella, which Audrey Hepburn could have been carrying in 1952, you know, about this size.
I got to be a punk version of Adamant. It was the leather jacket and having a holster with a wand in it. That's pretty cool. Was anyone else have a holster? Rock.
Definitely having the wand, really. It's something that became very special because you were only ever given it just before you were to do a scene. So, you know, you felt very special when you had it, and yeah, my wand is a definite favourite of mine.
For me, at the end of Prisoner of Azkaban, when I say goodbye to Harry, I fold up the Marauders map, and the Marauders map folded up by a series of little invisible threads that happened on 2 or 3 takes, and I just thought the creative aspects of the special effects designers on the film, that they didn't rely on it being a special effect, but they actually worked out a way of folding a map 8 ways by pulling little threads.
I had a very long white beard, which I would have my sausage and chips for lunch. And she wouldn't take the beard off, which annoyed me. I'd feed fried chips into my beard to annoy the makeup department.
I really can talk about a moment of liberation to do with my costume, because it was an irritating costume to wear, and underneath I started off wearing tights, and the gusset of the tights kept dropping down between my thighs, and this made it very difficult to walk with any kind of dignity. So eventually I said to my dresser, a lovely young man called Newell, I said, "You're going to have to cut these tights, and I'm going to have garters at the top." And sometimes when the stunt team are getting too macho, I would tease them with my inner thigh.
Hello, I'm Warwick Davis, aka Professor Flitwick. I want to take some time out, really, to take you on a small behind-the-scenes tour of Leavesden Studios. I shall take you upon my Segway around the studios for a glimpse, like no other, a glimpse behind the magic.
We spend so much time here in Leavesden, and we really kind of function in our own little bubble. We wake up, we drive into work, and then we drive home, and we're with our family and our friends.
The place in itself has a lot of significance for me, just because it's somewhere I've been coming to since I was 11. And it's a wonderful adventure maze.
Action. What better place to start than right here on Privet Drive, behind number 4. Of course, the place where Harry lives.
There's no such thing as magic. Privet Drive is one of the longest standing sets here at Leavesden. And each time we come to film on this set, they cut the grass and they pull up the weeds and make it ready for filming.
Cut there, thank you.
The departure of the 7 Harrys from Privet Drive. It's very interesting because in the pavement here, you see different markers. There's one there. They were the markers for the different characters involved with the scene.
1, 2, 3, go!
Let's leave Privet Drive now. We'll head off and see what else we can find here on the back lot at Leavesden Studios. So this here is the canteen. This place feeds an army. We'll travel out through this door now. Let's go down here. I'm going to demonstrate some of the magic of Harry Potter now by levitating this door. Check that out, check that out. We've come in now to one of my favourite sets. But this is one of the oldest sets here at Leavesden. It's the Great Hall here at Hogwarts. And this would, of course, at times been full of hundreds of Hogwarts students. And down there at the end, below the big window, would be, of course, the faculty of Hogwarts School. And I still recall my first day coming in here and being placed at that head table and feeling very, very important. Looking to my left, in the centre there, was, of course, the late Richard Harris. And next to him there, Maggie Smith. And on my right, Alan Rickman.
Let the feast begin.
It is the most wonderful place, one of the great sets here at Leavesden, one that's been a huge part of Harry Potter for the last 9 or 10 years. Okay, leaving now, so we'll come back outside. Now look who's up there. You never know what you're going to see here. 1 minute we're in Leavesden, the next minute we're in London. We can see this because we are magical. To a muggle that would appear invisible, it is, of course, Grimmauld Place.
In you go, son.
It's a complete street we're looking at. If we want to film that direction, we see there's some green screen there. And in post-production, of course, they would, recreate the rest of the street running right down there.
I get so excited about going here. You go in and you don't know what to expect.
A lot of places have become landmarks of Leavesden, so very sentimental place.
I still get a shiver when I walk into those sets because it's very, very magical, literally magical.
We first meet Luna in the 5th film when she's on the carriage going to the school.
You're not going mad. I can see them too. You're just as sane as I am.
Ivana brings such a strong sort of colour to the film. And she's so, brilliantly eccentric as Luna Lovegood.
Hello, everyone.
She is a glorious spirit. She is Luna, very comfortable with who she is, self-possessed in a good sense, but very much inhabits her own world.
Hello, Harry Potter. Your feet are made cold. A bit. Unfortunately, all my shoes have mysteriously disappeared. Personally, I suspect Nargos are behind it.
She was very impressive during her audition tape. Just if it was, listen, if you don't cast me, that's okay. But you'll have made a big mistake because I am Luna.
My mom always said things we lose have a way of coming back to us in the end. If not always in the way we expect.
The story of her casting is a beautiful and amazing thing. So we did this casting call. I wasn't there, but I saw the tape, and Ivana was one of those, and she came in, and immediately you knew that she was special.
Mistletoe. Good thinking. It's usually infested with Nargos.
Right.
I always wanted to be Luna. I loved her. I love Luna. She's so cool. She's so honest with everyone and to herself as well. She doesn't fake anything.
How do I look?
Exceptionally ordinary.
Brilliant.
She's so in touch with her spirit that she's not really affected by other people the way most teenagers are. Luna's always herself, and she's so comfortable with that.
I sleepwalk, you see. That's why I wear shoes to bed.
Harry Potter. Such an honor it is.
I was always proud of Dobby. Our goal for Dobby was to create a character that the audience would fall in love with.
Whoa!
Dobby
Yeah, and the second one was a mischievous friend. He was first introduced to Harry and was there to protect him.
Who are you? Dobby, sir. Dobby the house elf.
But he was always causing all these problems for Harry in an attempt to save his life.
Dobby had to be part mischievous, part annoying, yet by the time we get to the end of the movie, I wanted the audience to actually feel real emotion for Dobby.
Dobby is free.
When Harry frees Dobby, Dobby becomes absolutely indebted to Harry.
How can Dobby ever repay him?
Never tried to save my life again.
Harry is Dobby's absolute hero, and this creates a sort of potency when Dobby turns up to rescue Harry.
Dobby? What are you doing here? Dobby has come to rescue Harry Potter, of course. Dobby will always be there for Harry Potter.
Dobby's suddenly in a situation that he's never been in before. His life has been dedicated to slavery, to servitude. He's not used to this feeling of defiance, you know, but from within him comes this strength in front of his ex-masters, and it's a very powerful moment.
You could have killed me! Dobby never meant to kill. Dobby only meant to maim or seriously injure.
What he's promising to do throughout the whole sequence of books, he actually, makes the ultimate sacrifice.
Such a beautiful place to be with friends.
For Harry to actually bury him shows what a great deal Dobby must have meant to Harry. And so Harry wants to invest as much love in Dobby's burial as Dobby showed him throughout his life.
There's everyone here and screaming, and I didn't know what to make of it. I was a bit speechless up there.
They are a determined bunch of hardy souls.
It just always kind of blows me away, kind of how excited everyone is.
Hi everyone, I just want to say thanks for being so supportive and dedicated throughout these 10 years, and it really means a lot to everyone that you still get excited about these films every year, and thanks for everything.
They are here for the long haul. They don't do things by halves, and I thank and salute them all.
The rain's not deterring them whatsoever. They are the best fans in the world.
We do it for you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the Harry Potter world for so long.
We make these movies knowing that you guys are going to be the guys watching it, and we just get such a buzz from the actions at the premiere and the letters and emails we get sent by you, so thank you so much.
Sorry, I'm just taken in by all these guys. It's incredible. It's incredible.
We're so lucky to have such dedicated fans that have kept coming and kept coming.
We love it more every single year. It's amazing.
As a fan myself, I was so aware of how many people out there were similar and were, huge Potter fans. So to be here is amazing. It's just been such an incredible experience for me and for so many people.
We just have the most amazing fans in the world. Thank you so much for your support over the past decade. Well, I'm certainly never going to forget this moment. This is amazing.
To everyone who's supported us for the last 10 years, thank you very much.
You've been the best fans we could ever ask for, so thank you.
Really don't think we'd be here if it wasn't for everyone.
We just hope you enjoy watching this back again and again and again.
$11 years ago, Oliver and I went for an open audition in Leeds to go for the roles of Fred and George Weasley.
It's gone really quickly, and it's been an amazing experience for us to be on. We've made some fantastic friends for life.
I say this completely truthfully. I'm working with all my favourite actors. It's just extraordinary.
It's been the most amazing experience, and I feel very lucky to have been asked to bring J.K. Rowling's great characters to life.
It's changed my life massively. I've kind of grown up around some of these incredible people. I've learned so much as an actor and as a human being, really.
I started when I was 9 and finished when I was 19, and I've loved every minute of my character.
I was very fortunate to be given this opportunity in the first place, and I will always look back on this fondly, and I'll be very grateful forever.
It's been absolutely incredible, meeting so many great guys, making lifelong friends.
Every time I was on set, I was fully aware that, I was really lucky to be there.
It's kind of been my life every day, every hour. It's what it's all been about, and I'm very grateful for it because it's kind of put me on the path to what I really, really want to do.
It's been so good. I mean, I love the story, love the way it went, and so to be making that film, 10 years later, has been a dream come true.
All the people involved from the top down love the stories. We all somehow guard its integrity and are aware that this has been a magical moment in time.
I will miss Harry's world so much, and I don't think I'll ever work on something as fantastical and imaginative and creative as Harry Potter.
There'll never be a frame of any of these films that I don't look at and connect immediately to a memory of this place or of somebody. I'll miss it, and I'll miss my friends.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your support over the past decade.
I've loved every minute, and thank you all very, very much, because you made lots of